Hey there, it's Vaughn Tom 2020 with 2020 MC Gaming, and we are back for episode 3 of our tour of our first world on Java, Mad Staxx. I can't say that name without laughing a little bit. Anyway, welcome to Mad Staxx. We're going to continue to the tour, and so today what we're going to do is we're going to spend a couple of minutes at each of our larger mob farms. We're going to also try to get some time to visit a couple of the builds that we did, and we'll see how far that gets us. So, without any further ado, let's start this off. Okay, so just to tell you a little bit about what we're doing while we're going there, this was me and WA 2020's first world on Java, and it was referred to as Mad Staxx, but now I'm thinking about it as the unfinished world because as I visit this place, I see all these things that we talked about doing, had plans on doing, and never got quite done doing. We're going to first go to the Nether Hub. So this is our humble Nether Hub, and we had originally planned on having walkways that would be leaving the Nether Hub in the cardinal directions north, south, east, and west. And we never quite got there. So we do have some roads built. This goes to, let's see, the Mesa and the Wither Farm, the cheap version we made. And this right here is the first part of the Nether to explore. We were scared witless, but so you'll notice that Netherrack looks a little bit different. WA modified this texture pack for me because I thought that the Netherrack, I would like it to be dark. One of the reasons for this is I was looking for a dark block that I could use to, say, imitate a slate black color for various builds, and I was really happy with the results. It's fabulous. Okay, so here we are on the roof of the Nether, and over here is our ghast farm. It was a lot of fun to build, very dangerous, and there's the AFK spot, the spawning platforms, and the loot collection system. Now, this design was pretty fun to build, but we had a little bit of a problem with it. The used slime block pushers, and every time a ghast died, it would freeze up the slime block flying machines. Now, I've got to introduce you to our lingo. This is not an iron golem. This is Archie. All iron golems are named Archie, so we refer to them as Archie. So if I start talking about Archie, I'm talking about this fellow right here. Or any other iron golem. Turn your back on me. And also, if I say kale, I actually mean kelp. That's just a couple of examples of how ridiculous we are. So the gold farm here is, of course, Ilmango's version. There's been several iterations, and they're a great deal of fun to build. And they spawn like crazy. And there we are. We got the anvils in place. We got the snow blocks in place. Really nice build. High output for both gold and XP, and we love it. And here's a brief flyby of the gas spawner. Nice little box. This was inspired by another channel, Ike. We made some radical changes to it, but it was a lot of fun. We put more Archies down here to kill the magma blocks, and it worked fairly well. See that nether brick looks great as a fence, doesn't it? I love it. Anyway. Oh yeah, I also should mention, while we're looking at this, that this server was set up as a vanilla server, vanilla Minecraft, which means that we had no mods when we first started. We did add a single player sleep mod later on, and we added mob heads too, because yeah, it's not really all that cheaty, but man, collecting mob heads is fun. I mean, if there's a mod that I would universally recommend to everybody, it's mob heads. I mean, it's just fun. Okay, so here we are at the Blaze Farm, which we didn't quite finish, and we didn't make it as beautiful as it could be. But man, it works. It works great. This is Nembon's design, very easy to find on YouTube. Absolutely love this. We've built this in our PS4 worlds, and we've built it in several Java worlds. So here we are at the wither perimeter. Now, of course, it's not a complete perimeter. We have a little bit of a problem over here. Massive amounts of nether fortress still needing to be managed, but we slabbed the top of it and just ran with it. It was a lot of work, and it was just the two of us, and of course, we're in vanilla survival. We're running around the nether trying to get our pickaxes healed at the gold farm while carving out massive amounts of netherrack. And, of course, crossing the biggest lava lake I'd ever seen at the time. Anyway. So this little design is one of my personal favorites, and unfortunately I've got it turned off right now because the traversing slime block flying machines that pushed the bad guys into the down right here. I left the area while they were still rocking, and of course they switched themselves off for me. Very nice of them. But you'll notice we have minecarts embedded in slime blocks. It was a really nice little trick. That way all of the guys that come out of the farm, they don't take fall damage, but they land on here and they bounce like crazy. It means you gotta whack them an extra time or two with your sword, but wow, it's so fun. I mean, seeing them bounce, it's crazy. Now, it's not completely operational right now because I never came back in and fixed it, but I'll go ahead and switch it on so you can see it in action. It's kind of silly, but it's amusing and it's worth it. And you can hear our customers up there just waiting to come down to the showroom floor. And the flying machines are flying. And we'll have to hang out here for a second so you can see them bounce. There you go. Yeah, so that was the funnest part about this build. We know that there's a lot more efficient ways to do it, but man, look at that. Isn't that crazy? This farm with a looting sword, you're probably going to get about 3 wither skulls per minute. You have to run back and forth from one side to the other, but 3 wither skulls per minute, sometimes up to 4 or 5. That's pretty good. I mean, okay, so here we are at an area of the map we affectionately referred to as the Bayside. We've got a desert right there, and we've got Wa's Bayside base right there. Now, the Bayside base we are going to save until next episode because there is enough there to make an entire video. It's something else. And I'm standing up on top of her lighthouse, which will also be part of that. But what we're really here for is the Guardian Farm. Now, when we got here, we thought about this world as like the Guardian Farm was like way far away from Wa's Bayside. But that was just because we had just come from PS4. We were playing in classic map. It was tiny. This stuff is a lot closer than we originally thought. So this is the island where we based while we were tearing apart the Guardian Farm. And here is the Guardian Farm. Now, we drained this dude using El Mango's flying machine idea. And, of course, we were putting together a little bit of scenery on the outside here, which I obviously never finished. It was supposed to be that design wrapping all the way around. And like I said before, we got occupied on other servers, we'll say. But it may still get finished. We'll just have to see. So here's the primary tanks. We've got 4 tanks, and they are slow sand. at the bottom, gates with a water channel at the top, and a central area where the fish fall down. So I do have mobs disabled right now, so nothing's going to be coming out. I wanted to save on lag since I was using a shader. And access to the kill chamber is down here. So this is the main hallway here, and cyan glass covering up the walls right there, and got our conduit hidden up in here. I did do some work on this to try to keep this all pretty, but we never did quite finish it exactly how we wanted to finish it. And of course, this is the kill area here. You can just see the water channels that would pull them towards you, and you just close these and bash them with your sword a little bit. It was quite fun, and even with just those 4 tanks, it turned out pretty good loot. And it kept us in XP also. We built that before the gold farm. Had our own little enchanting room here. Oh yeah, that's another one. When we're talking in this world, these are not enchanting tables, they're enchanted tables. And this is an enchanted room. That's what they're properly called. Don't know if you know that. So item elevator, standard SV sorter, or impulse SV, and little bits and pieces. And of course, it had to have another room. And furnaces for cooking up them fish, etc. This build was a lot of fun. The water was drained after the entire monument was cleared by hand. We went in there with pickaxes, like a couple of little fools, and chopped that thing down by hand while getting blasted by the guardians. It was it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. So I don't usually use shaders, but I just kind of wanted to for this recording. I thought it would be kind of fun. But I'm really kind of liking it. The scenery is nice. So this right here, I wanted to make it over here in the nighttime so we could see this. I wanted to see it. There. I said it. Okay, so this right here is the desert pyramid. I thought about, hey, I need to build a remix of the desert temple. So I'd never done a proper desert build before, so I decided to give it a swing and see what happened. And of course, I never quite finished it, but it was a whole lot of fun. And we got the you can just see it right here, the phantom umbrella. Cobwebs are on a glass block so that you can get a little bit of protection from the phantoms, and I like to work through the night just for the fun of it. But there were a lot more plans for the desert temple, desert pyramid than you see here. I was going to do some large standing towers at the corners and some walkways and try to tie it into the savannah, and do a larger landscaping project around it to try to build it into its surroundings, make it look like a large city or something. And the beacons were going to stay on the inside. I chose gold. I thought it would match the color scheme here pretty well. And this is the important part. You know, the build's cool and all, I get it, but no, this is the important part. Those are all creeper craters. All of these big holes right here are creeper craters. They're like all around over here for a little while until I start smoothing out the front. There's one. It's because I spend a lot of time building this at nighttime. Oh my god, we are ridiculous. Every now and again, oh, engage wings. Every now and again, WoW would have to come over here and save me. That was funny. Oh, and these llamas have been here since the dawn of time. Since this world was created. Whoa, rabbit, chill. These llamas have been here. I was going to, mob heads, and I was going to try to collect some mob heads, but I refrained myself. These white llamas are like, they belong inside the desert temple. And of course, the inside of the desert temple never got finished. So, like I said, unfinished world. So that's all for this episode. I'm going to go ahead and wind down about right here. So I'd like to go ahead and thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, then please do. And if you enjoyed yourself, please leave a comment and let us know what you liked about it. And we'll see if we can cover more of that in the next episode when we go over to Waz Bayside, which you can see in the distance there. Isn't that cool? So that said, thank you very much for stopping by and have a great day.